This week on the Best Flarking Podcast, we're talking Doctor Who, stuff about Dormammu, some Cloak and Dagger stuff, big news with Ben Affleck, Marvel being super busy, the retro trailer for Wolverine and Deadpool, a duh of the week, the X-Men TV pilot, and as always, the Reeg Report. I'm Dunners, he's Reeg, hit the music.
And then there came a day like many others. The Best Flarking Podcast. Your nerd's eye view of TV, film, comics, and video games. With you as always, your mother flarking hosts, Dunners and Reeg. Fellas, show them who they're flarking with.
Welcome back once again, everyone. This is episode 44 of the Best Flarking Podcast. It is 1/30/2017. And we have got nerdy stuff to talk about with you guys today.
Oh boy, do
and
we
with me,
ever.
as always, the Reeg Lord himself.
Yo,
Reeg, how you doing?
Man, I never know how to answer this question. I always try to think of something different every time because I don't want to be like that same guy who just runs through shit. So, yeah, I am.
So that's how you're doing.
Yeah, that's how I am. Damn.
All right.
Just caught me off guard. How are you, man?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm out here making it happen. We just got a Doctor Strange cape for Flynn, and me and him are going to shoot some Doctor Strange VFX shots this week.
That's awesome.
And do some cool VFX stuff with me and my 2-year-old.
I know. I was really hoping for the one that was in like one of the Marvel crate things. I think it was a robe. I saw
nice.
it making the social media rounds.
That's pretty rad.
I mean, yeah, who doesn't want a giant Doctor Strange robe with the huge cowl?
Just a coiffed neck, just massive.
Right.
It's your bathrobe, just huge.
You're just walking around your house with horse blinders on, running into shit.
Oh my god. Speaking of horse blinders, I just totally got done winning a set of races and got horse blinders for my horse in Witcher 3, which, yes, everyone,
Oh, snap.
I'm 2 years behind on Witcher 3, and I'm holding myself accountable for it by absolutely crushing through it. In between work, all I'm doing is either feeding my newborn, changing my newborn, or playing Witcher 3 or working. And as you can see, there's no sleep in there because there's no time for sleep.
None.
And you know what? And I'm not playing Gwent either. I haven't done any of the card related quests. I played Gwent when they made you do it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not into this.
Nobody gives a fuck about Gwent.
I'm like, I'm not into this.
Seriously.
And I'm not doing any of the quests related to it.
Take a poll. There's nobody gives a fuck.
It must be popular enough because they made that standalone that's coming out in like 2 months. Like Gwent by itself is coming out.
There's a small portion of people who really give a fuck about Gwent.
Like, I fucking love Gwent. Oh my goodness.
But aside from those people.
But yeah, man. So let's fucking dive right into this. Because some of these are going to be, we're hitting you fast and hard this week. The fast hits coming from the Flarkers this week. But bittersweet news for the Doctor Who community. Dr. Peter Capaldi is leaving the show. So we're going to be having a regeneration at the end of the season.
But didn't we know this was kind of coming?
We kind of figured it, but like at the same time as like, I personally, I don't identify with Capaldi's Doctor nearly as much as Matt Smith or David Tennant.
No.
For me, he's definitely the worst of the modern era Doctors, which is actually like a very far cry from most people. Most people actually really like him, and
well, you
I don't care for him.
One a few episodes. I mean, maybe a handful, if not a dozen episodes back, was telling me to go, and it's worth watching.
Yeah.
If I had watched up to his, because that's where I had left off was.
Yeah, his season. It's not like the show got shitty with him in there.
Sure.
I mean, it's still Doctor Who, so it's better than 90% of TV. So, but it's not as lovely as the Matt Smith era, which is my personal favorite Doctor.
Great. He's just great.
Yeah,
or timey-wimey.
Yeah, or David Tennant, which is most people's favorite Doctor. Just some of the best episodes ever with David Tennant. We're not gonna debate that, but no. I am gonna say I will be sad to see him go because even though he wasn't my favorite Doctor, he provided a kind of a different dynamic of we weren't constantly wondering if the Doctor was going to fuck his companion every season.
Oh, good point.
So like that was kind of neat to not have that for a while.
He's not a young strapping lad.
I'm not saying that he's not a young strapping lad. I'm just saying that with his crotchety old man style, that was Peter Capaldi. No, it didn't seem like like hooking up with Earth girls was at like the top of his list, because like even with the first Doctor with number 9, he's just like, I got a spaceship. And she's like, nah, did I mention it travels anywhere in time too?
Yeah.
Come get in my ship, Rose. You know? So like
Malekith.
It's pretty much all over the place. And then David Tennant very clearly was like, I'm trying to smash. Is basically all he was saying that entire time.
Pretty much.
And with Matt Smith, it was easier.
He was just a little curious.
At first it was easier, or at first it was like that because Amy was like, I'm gonna have sex with my imaginary friend.
Totally.
And then it was like, oh wait, this is my boyfriend Rory, and then and then that kind of moved away. And then he had River. River kind of took the heat off of Matt Smith. So
River song.
If he goes young again, we're looking down the barrel of him trying to sleep with his companion. I'm hoping that this time around, Chiwetel Ejiofor says yes. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for Ejiofor to say yes this time around, because he said no last time.
They had asked him, huh?
Yeah, they asked him and Idris Elba, and they both said no. So,
Elba would be a wild.
Dude, he'd be way too smooth. Forget about sleeping with his companion. Like the entire galaxy isn't safe.
Yeah, you can't put that on TV.
The Time Lords are supposed to be extinct. Idris Elba out there going to be having Time Lord babies all over the universe.
Time Lord babies everywhere.
Yeah, there's way too many Time Lord babies.
Oh my God.
And that's the name of this week's episode. Episode 44, Way Too Many Time Lord Babies. Brought to you by Doritos.
And
give
Mountain
us a sponsorship,
Dew.
Doritos. Yeah, Doritos and Mountain Dew. And Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pepsi.
I had a Code Red today for the first time in years.
Immediately
regretted it coming, but grabbed it from the fridge at work. Immediate regret hit me as I'm walking back to my desk. But it's at the point though where I'm too far to turn back and put it, because I don't want to look weird, like putting it back in the fridge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit, all right, it might just sit on my desk for a while. But then I was like, nah, I'm living life.
I'm doing this.
Yep.
I remember when Code Red came out when I was in high school, and I thought it was like the dopest thing ever. And then you think about it, it's just grenadine syrup in Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it tasted like nostalgia. It was amazing.
So it's just like when I was in high school, there was the go-to that like my long-term high school girlfriend would always get me, the brand new Dutch Crunch kettle chips, jalapeno flavor, which tastes
jalapeno
like
cheddar.
The ramen soup chips, and then Code Red Mountain Dew. And like involuntarily right now, my mouth is watering because I fucking love those old Dutch Crunch chips.
That combo,
and my brain is like, remember when you were 18 and you could just eat a bag of Dutch Crunch chips and pound a 2-liter of Code Red and have no side effects whatsoever? And I was like, shut up, brain. I don't want to remember that.
Just max a bag of them.
Because then I go back and I go, you know what? I'll remember all the way back and I go, yeah, that was cool. But the best comic book movie we had around was X-Men 2.
That wasn't cool.
Which X-Men 2 is great. It's been overshadowed by so many things by now.
So many.
But yeah.
Oh shit.
But so the doctor's changing. Changes.
Man.
I know. Copyright infringement.
Get us flagged.
Yeah, dude. That's how we do it. If you're not getting flagged, you're not doing it right. Speaking of not doing it right, do you think Marvel didn't do it right by letting Benedict Cumberbatch be the voice of Dormammu instead of Tony Todd?
I saw this
now that
today.
The details are out.
I saw this today, and I heavily contemplated that exact question. Because, Tony Todd might...
it's Tony Todd.
Right. It might be the voice of all voices. Yeah, they might have fucked up.
I think they did fuck up. I want Candyman to be the voice of Dormammu. Like, he's the fucking Candyman, bro. Yeah. Like, that's a voice of evil.
Yeah, man.
Could you just imagine, like, all the...
I know, I'm seeing the face in my head, and I'm just hearing it, and I'm just like...
Oh. Dormammu, I have come to bargain. Then you... have come to die.
That's a decent Tony Todd, man.
I got a pretty deep voice. I can't
like
get all the way to Tony Todd levels.
Yeah.
You know, I can't get all the way to Tony Todd levels, but like for me, I was just trying to imagine like Candyman lines in my brain and speak like that.
Right.
It's the same way that like if I want to talk like Bane, I have to imagine him doing it. Because I don't know if you've seen not new anymore, but the way the Jeep Grand Cherokee looks, it looks like Bane's little crab mask in the front. And like I had a Vine a long time ago, and I was like, "Oh, I'm the new Jeep Grand Cherokee. I look like Bane from Batman."
You merely adopted Power Wheel steering. You didn't get a 5-star safety rating. I was born with it.
That's our Jeep commercial, because we're also sponsored by Jeep now. Yep. Just in case you guys didn't know, between episode 43 and 44, we've got so many sponsorships now that we're just plugging shit mid-show because we can't even stop to do a commercial for them. Yep. That's how much, like... You know how like on How Did This Get Made? It's like, you love your fucking mattress, you love the snack boxes, and you love Loot Crate. We can't even do that anymore. So now midway through, if you hear me be like, oh yeah, you know the best thing I love about Tony Todd was that he had a sponsored Loot Crate and a snack box. That's us getting paid
right there
to do that.
None of this is true.
God, I wish it was true. God, I wish it was true. Because I mean, as much fun as it is to have the admiration of a handful of people, it feels a lot better to have lifetime of free Doritos and snack boxes.
It really does.
But
wait, which snack box? The one that actually sponsors podcasts? Because I'd love to get some of those.
Yeah,
Nature Box. There we go. That's what it is.
Yeah, you want the one with like almond bark in it.
The nom noms.
I mean, I personally would just like, if they're like, hey, buy this box filled with gummy bears, and I'm like, oh, I get a box of gummy bears every month. They're like, yeah.
There you go. All I really want is just some Chipotle nuts.
Yeah, you can Chipotle them nuts.
Hey.
Oh, low-hanging fruit, literally and figuratively. You see that? The initial joke wasn't good, but the follow-through is where the real comedy is. That's just a life lesson for everyone.
I hope we all learned something.
Oh, I did. I learned to love again. So it's gonna be a funny one tonight, guys. A lot of ahs and ums and shitty jokes. Apparently, is what you're gonna get from me, which is me at my finest. Is ahs and ums and shitty jokes.
No other way.
Yeah, well, it's the only way you gonna get me.
Yep.
It's the only way you gonna get me. So, Freeform, formerly ABC Family, part of the Empire of Joy, that is the Disney conglomerate, corporate overlord. I mean, dude, what is corporation even a big enough fucking word for what Disney is anymore?
No, it's not. It's a movement.
Like they look at corporations and laugh. They're like, oh, look at you owning two things. You guys are cute. So ABC is getting the Cloak and Dagger show, which, as we all know from the older episodes that I skewered when they were like kicking the idea around, is going to be on Freeform.
Yeah,
which
this
is the
wild.
like the young adult, like tween teen dream team channel where like all those shows are, which I guess makes a lot of sense for who Cloak and Dagger are. They've always kind of firmly lived in the young adult range of the Marvel universe.
Just left like field in general.
Yeah, because like Tandy and Tyrone have always been kind of like young lovers that are kind of Romeo and Juliet-y, kind of maneuver to them.
I've honestly not read a Cloak and Dagger book since I was in my teens.
Since you were at the age that was appropriate for Cloak and Dagger. I think that's pretty much the case for most people. But basically, they cast Tandy and Tyrone today, and they got Olivia Holt, who is a veteran of such Disney Channel classics as Kickin' It and some other sports-based musical thing. I'm not fully well versed on Olivia Holt's
Basketball
filmography.
Ballet 4.
I see.
Maybe I don't.
Oh man, and
I mean, we expect nothing less though.
And Aubrey Joseph is going to play Cloak. which we'll go over it one more quick little time here. Dagger can make daggers of light, which can either heal or sap the life force out of someone, which makes her incredibly powerful. And then
Like too powerful.
And then Cloak has an entire dimension inside of his cloak called the Dark Dimension, which he can teleport through to anywhere on Earth, similar to how like Nightcrawler travels through that Brimstone and Hellfire dimension to do his teleportation. That's kind of the same thing with Cloak, except for it's all contained inside of him, and he kind of like
Bamf inside of him.
Yeah. Yep. So except for it doesn't smell bad, right? Which is like the part of the Nightcrawler thing.
Yo, both of these characters are OP as fuck.
Yeah, they really are. And the thing with Cloak is that he has to like feed off of life force inside the Dark Dimension. So if he traps someone in there, he can like eat them basically, or very conveniently he can consume the light from Dagger's light daggers to stay alive, which creates a weird kind of permanent codependency, really. So who knows how this is going to go on the... I'll tell you, I'll just go ahead and just be forthright with it. I think it's probably going to be awful for me, but for the Vampire Diaries crowd and the like Teen Wolf MTV crowd,
they're gonna love
I think this show's going to kill. And I feel like we're going to see Cloak and Dagger get a resurgence in the books and in clothes, and
as does all of the series currently.
Hot Topic merchandise. Next to your Jack Skellington beanies and your Joker bling grills. What do they have at Hot Topic?
You got me, man.
Someone got
all I know
old
is
and was way too
they
cool.
have exclusive Funko Pops. So
you know what? I actually remember I did have to go there to get the Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Freddy one, because I wasn't going to not get it, but
they do have some
clearly
pretty rad print tees, but
I clearly don't remember what is in that store because I just went in for the one thing I wanted and got out of Dodge.
They do got some pretty rad superhero tees, though. Can't lie about that.
Well, we'll have to take your word for it. I'll just have to take your word for it, and that's how it is.
Yep. I wouldn't lie to you. I won't lie to the people either.
I know that you wouldn't, but floating around here still in the Marvel universe, we have got another of the week, and crazily enough,
in news that surprises no one.
Yeah, news that surprises nobody. Back-to-back weeks, and it's regarding the same film.
Oh,
it's another Black Panther related.
Oh my god!
No one is surprised. Ulysses Claw will be in the movie.
Stop everything.
Rewrite page 1.
What?
Print it. Ulysses Claw is going to be in Black Panther. His major nemesis is going to be in it.
I'm fucking shocked.
And like we said, he's probably going to show up with the arm, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh, he's got to have the arm.
He's got to have it.
It's been 2 movies.
Yeah, it's been like 2 years.
Yeah. We need the arm. No, it will have been 3 by the time, or
3.
4.
So, if he doesn't have the arm, then he needs to get off his ass and get a robot arm. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Get on it.
Marvel has been moving very quickly, making things very opposite of Ulysses Claw if he doesn't have this arm. And so quickly that Scott Derrickson himself, the director of Doctor Strange, has said that Marvel has not had any plans to get Doctor Strange 2 on the books.
Where did he say this?
Let's see, where is the interview with this? He's not saying that they're not trying to make it.
No,
just
I know,
literally that there's no time.
Just come on, man. What are you trying to do right now? Like,
yeah, it made a ton of money. Like, why is that not on the books? I mean, that's my one. I was like, damn, it's made so much goddamn money. Why is it not on the books already? But it's a link on Heroic Hollywood that I saw in an interview with him that basically
I'm just saying, like, what's the point of it though? Like, to what, with the hopes that somebody catches wind of this and then reaches out, contacts you, and does. I think Scott Derrickson
just really likes being part of the Marvel universe, and Doctor Strange did so well. I don't think he's. I think he's more of taken aback. Because look at what Guardians did and how James Gunn just got elevated to super duper mega director level, and Scott Derrickson basically did the exact same thing with Doc Strange, you know.
He really
so
did.
like, so with that, it's like I feel like he's probably like, hey, remember when I made almost $1 billion with a no-name character, just like fucking Guardians did? Maybe I should get some nods and love.
Give me some love over here.
You know, so like, who knows?
No, I get it. I get it, and I don't get it.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean? Because I'm like, that's where I'm looking at it. Like, what's the point of it? Because like you're being it's a very passive aggressive thing to do.
Right. No, that makes perfect sense of like seeing it like that. Because it's definitely like a squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing where it's like, well, let's get a fucking Doctor Strange 2 on the book so I can make fucking $10 million as a director. I want to know that I got that money coming. You know, I don't want to see a Thor 2 where they fucking swap me out.
Right. He's just looking at his calendar. He's like, I got a slot open.
I mean, because if he doesn't, he's like, what is he going to do? Go back and direct Sinister 3? I don't know. Like, who knows? That's not a diss on him. I mean, I didn't particularly dig Sinister, but like that isn't a knock on him. No, I mean, shit, I would kill to direct Sinister 3. Like, give me Sinister 3. I can make a fucking $20 million horror movie that's built entirely on jump scares. But I'm considering this next tidbit a piece of bad news.
Okay.
Bryan Singer is going to direct the pilot of the X-Men TV show. Do you agree with me, or are you like whatever?
You know where I am on this.
You agree with me, right?
Yes, I fucking hate Bryan Singer.
This is going to be terrible.
Correction, I don't hate Bryan Singer. What that man does to the X-Men universe is what I fucking hate. Mr. Bryan fuck continuity Singer.
Yeah, yep. And even more so with the X-Men TV show coming where it's like, yeah, we're just doing a whole new thing. That's basically what they said is like, it's a whole new thing. These are all new characters. Who gives a shit?
And this is just like this is different from New Mutants, right?
It is.
Yeah. So we have somebody wrote an article about this. So we now I think it was the Hollywood Reporter. We have Legion, which is about to air. We have
in its own timeline.
In its own timeline. We have New Mutants, which I don't know when that's coming out or anything. And then we
also in its own timeline, right?
Yep, also on its own timeline. Now we have this one as well. So continuing in good old Fox fucker fashion.
So these are these are 3 separate timelines for each TV show.
Yeah.
That's gross.
It's negligence, god damn it.
Like, and then like how on earth, like how the fuck is this supposed to like tie in then to the main line then? Because in the main line we have the like First Class universe and sorta the original timeline merged together and the Logan universe. So technically we're floating around with 5, potentially 6 timelines for the X-Men, which is fucking bonkers. And if Deadpool 2 doesn't fucking poke fun at this, because I feel like Deadpool 2 takes place in a separate universe because Colossus is different.
What?
I feel like Deadpool takes place in a separate X-Men universe.
Oh, because of this, you mean the Colossus in Deadpool because the
Colossus in Deadpool is not the same as Daniel Cudmore in the other ones.
Right.
You know, so like I'm wildly confused as to where Deadpool lines up, because Deadpool also makes reference to the McAvoy and the Stewart timelines. So clearly it's supposed to take place in one of them.
Professor, which one, McAvoy or Stewart? Your timelines are so confusing.
Exactly. So it's like, but on top of that, like he's totally different. But so who knows, man? I feel like this is such a bad look to have Bryan Singer come in and do this pilot, especially when there's tons of talented TV directors who could just helmet and do their own thing and make it happen, you know? Yeah. And this is just kind of, I don't know. I'm not.
No, it's the one thing that we still see with what's going on in WB and the DCU right now. And I'm just, why do you cling to these directors? Like, there's so much other talent out there that you could give the opportunity to. It's the same reason Ezra Miller's Flash. Why not Grant Gustin? It's the same level of gross disrespect for I don't want to say necessarily continuity, but just a shared. I'm not to say that everything has to be a shared universe either, but there's just a level of just zero fucks given as to tying any of this together. And is that on us as comic book fans, like that we expect it to tie together when it doesn't really need to?
That's a good question, but like the thing is like I don't know if I buy the whole like it needs to tie together, but when they try and because like the thing is like they tried to tie First Class universe and the mainline universe together, so it shows that they personally care, but they just aren't getting it right. So now they're like, oh, fuck it. That's how I feel. I feel like that's what they're doing, and like I know that it doesn't need to tie together because the X-Men timelines are the most fucked.
Oh, they're
of the Marvel Comics property. So like I get that part of it, but at the same time, I don't think because it's the most difficult to reconcile means that it should be the easiest to go fuck it. You know, just because I feel like you should take deeper care with those timelines then. But now, granted, X-Men is in a unique position because they've been making those movies for 17 years at this point. You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like it is just a tad bit different. So I guess I can give them a little bit of leeway because we're not in a position where anything else has been going that long because it's almost twice as long as the Marvel universe.
But does longevity beat? What would the word be for what Marvel does? And I was reading
meticulous planning.
Damn it! Yeah, well, there's that obviously.
I mean, because I don't think longevity necessarily trumps preparedness.
Right.
I feel like Marvel came into this game prepared.
Well, no, I was reading something about this, and this one was more about this was about movie reactions. Literally, they were looking at audience physical reactions in theaters.
Right.
And this was more towards Justice League and versus Marvel, and even seeing the audience seeing Flash and Wonder Woman on in Batman v Superman did not get anywhere near the same reaction as the crowd did when seeing Captain America in Thor 2.
Right.
So like you build these relationships with these, you can't just fucking pop them right in there, you know, like, hey, here's this guy. Look at him.
I think that goes into there's that really awesome video essay floating around about the DC universe by the same guy who said why Marvel's color
maybe I think
sucks.
this is actually paraphrasing that video. Actually, I think it was a post on that video, and they were basically talking about that breakdown. But long story short of that, and this is a little different of that because obviously those characters continue to exist across movies. Albeit done very poorly and switch actors and actresses and so on and so forth and different timelines and whatever. But to that point is they're not investing in building those relationships as Marvel has been. So it's this weird thing of I'm like, you know, yeah, it's been 17 years. Hugh Jackman's probably the only one that I really give a fuck about still and attribute to all of these timelines and look at and go, fuck it, I don't care. You did all this stuff, and however it works in my head is however it works. But nobody else do I care about in that X universe other than from now moving forward.
Right.
So it's like, where does longevity trump, you know, the actual, you know, like you said, meticulous planning?
Yeah, I don't know if it really you can ever make the excuse that it should be able to trump anything. It's just kind of like, I feel like Fox gave up a long time ago on really trying. They're just kind of milking it until it's dead. But you bring up a really good point about the whole characterization thing, because the Marvel movies have done a really great job of building character, right? You know, they just say what you will about their stories, their villains, their pacing, their whatever. They have built their characters and they built them to their strengths. None of them act outside of the realm of who they are and the reasons that we love them. You know, Captain America is Captain America.
Oh,
Black Panther is Black Panther. Iron Man is Iron Man. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. Thor is Thor. And so on and so forth.
Finally, Spider-Man is Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean,
Shout out to Spider-Man.
I mean, he truly is
Shout out to Petey
Spider-Man
Parker.
now. But like to be
Just
fair,
saying.
Andrew Garfield did a good job.
Garfield did
And
crush
to-
it in the first movie.
And
He crushed
to a lesser,
it. It's not his fault the second movie had a fucking overdone script and just overstuffed
it was just
with
way too
villains and
cooked.
shit. It was just dumb.
And to be fair to Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 were also very good. They weren't like the same thing. Like the thing is like
You're not wrong.
they
I just
both-
can't forget the cry face. It's
yeah.
burned in my
I mean,
face
who
forever.
Who could who could ever get that cry face out of their brain? It's just as good as they were in those movies, they still weren't full throttle Spider-Man. They weren't all the way there.
Right.
They were 3/4 of the way there
Right.
in different ways.
Right. Even Garfield's
And-
got close, and I thought it was all the way there.
Yeah, until
Come
you
to
saw
find-
Tom
until
Holland.
I
Really,
saw Tom Holland, and I was like,
Yeah.
shit.
like God, he is bringing it.
Yeah.
He really is bringing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's. I don't think anything can trump meticulous planning and really good characterization, because even in the Marvel movies that have weaker scripts, that are more kind of also ran than anything, great characters save it. Because like if you really want to break it down, Ant-Man is not the most well written story. Like it's very by the numbers, but the characters are so endearing and they're so great that you just love it. Like Paul Rudd as Scott Lang crushes it, and like and Luis and T.I.'s character, Dave, and Michael Keaton and Evangeline Lilly's father-daughter dynamic. It that's kind of the thing, is like good characterization is like the biggest thing, and I think that's
You mean Martin Sheen?
what?
Martin Sheen? You said Michael Keaton.
Oh, Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. Yeah. Why did I say Sheen? Well, him and they kind of.
It's all right. We'll get there.
Let me slide. Let me go on that one.
Hey, I got it wrong first. So, we gotta, when you get it wrong, you gotta admit when you're wrong.
It's
There.
true.
But if Fox were to go ahead and explore yet another timeline, we got a lovely retro fan made Lethal Weapon style trailer for Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah, this is going up on the Facebook group ASAP.
Yeah, it's goofy as all get out, and it's hilarious. But not that I want to talk about that trailer so much. I kind of want to talk about what would you like to see in a world where Wolverine and Deadpool cross over into a movie together. What do you want to see from that, Reeg, if that were to happen?
For me personally, it hits a tone of X-Force a little bit, so I'd have to have some nods.
So you want murder?
Yeah. Well, we do have Wolverine and Deadpool. No, I mean, God, I don't even know. Honestly, I've never thought that deep into it, other than just hearing it off top. Like, it just brings back memories of Uncanny X-Force, Remender's run.
Right, right.
I would need nods at white suits, the white, maybe. I don't know. Psylocke would have to make a guest appearance and talk shit.
So you're basically, if you get them together, you want a full blown kind of X-Force style.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be called X-Force, but like
they hate each other, but they know they play to each other well. They are better around each other, even though they hate each other. It's a weird juxtaposition, but they're fucking effective that way. So
right.
So I think that needs to be played upon. I would love to see that wit from the first Deadpool, with sort of what Singer did with Wolverine, with just his cameo in First Class with the fuck off. That's the Logan I know, like cigar chewing at the bar, fuck off. So I need those two. I need that Logan in with this one. Yeah, and I need shenanigans. And that's about it.
Shenanigans, violence, and X-Force style. For me, I would kind of like to see like the Wolverine and Deadpool more comical run, because like we're gonna have Logan, which is hard R, and we're gonna have Deadpool, which is hard R.
So like I want to see sort more of one-off 6-issue kind of.
Yeah, okay. I kind of want to see. I would like more. I would like more of that, but I also would like to see it more like Freddy versus Jason, where they're actually at each other's throats and not working together. So I'd like to see a fight that in theory could go on for almost ever.
A Deadpool v Wolverine.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see, because like I know what them together being friends is like, or working together, because it's
good call. You just shit all over my idea.
It's murder and wisecracks, that's what it is.
Kidding.
But what I would like to see is a potential Deadpool gets a call up from Weapon X that he has to go bag the Wolverine and bring him back, because in my version of using Fox's logic, this is a whole separate universe.
Right, of course.
And Deadpool was created by a Weapon X, and he's a mutate using Wolverine's blood. That's how we're going with it.
Okay. Of course, so you got to play it so that you can do whatever the fuck you want. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So he gets picked up, basically on contract to bring Wolverine in, and they're like, you know what? If you do this, you get the Wolverine here, you beat him, you take him down, you get him to us. You're free. You never have to worry about Weapon X coming after you ever again. Wade's like, fucking sweet, garbage bag full of chimichangas. Let's rock and roll. Wolverine is full on X-Men style. Wade shows up at the mansion, starts fucking up all the young kids. He knows what's going on, so he tries. He lures Wade away, and they basically have like a grudge match that eventually comes down to them realizing that fucking Weapon X is never going to leave either of them alone, and then they fucking team up, take down Weapon X, and that's the end of the movie. So when that fucking movie comes out, and the thing that I just said is what's the movie?
Dunn. Go back to today.
Go back to 1/30/2017 and find out that it was me. God damn it.
We need to start putting a goddamn Creative Commons license on this shit or something.
Just say I'll record one time saying copyright, and you can just drop it in
boom.
during edit after every one of these things. Copyright,
man. This content, this art that we do.
It just happens, just
effortless.
It's just overflowing out of me here. But before we get to our final bit of bombshell ass news, I feel like it's time to do a little thing that the kids like to call the Reeg Report. Reeg?
Yes. This is that part of the show where I reach into the internet and I grab little tidbits, little things that are too quick to have a real full-on discussion about, but granted, I felt, they're still important. So there's 6 items on the Reeg Report this week, and number 1, we'll talk more about it on the Games Cast, next episode of that, but Square Enix has announced a team-up with Marvel for a series of games based on the Avengers franchise. Item number 2, we've got Richard Kelly, who is is he the screenwriter or the director of Donnie Darko?
As a film guy, I know nothing about Donnie Darko because I just don't care for it. I know that's going to go against so many people's thoughts, but I don't care at all about it.
Because we're not going to yuck your yum at them. But
somebody will. Somebody's all about it.
Somebody might. But anyways,
and I'm okay with it.
Richard Kelly's planning a big and ambitious Donnie Darko sequel. When talking to HMV, Kelly says he's looking forward to doing a new film in that universe. Quote, "It's big and expensive, and I think there's time to get to that. I want to make sure we've got the budget to do it justice and not to compromise anything. Another story in this world needs resources, and we need to have that in place. I need to get my next film out the gate, and then we can go back and look at it." So sounds like he is excited to do another Darko film. I'm excited to see where the hell that universe goes, because fuck that Darko shit that came out.
Is that the one about the sister?
Yeah, it's bad. Okay. It's really bad. Item number 3 on the list. This is pretty cool. Gears 4 gets cross-platform versus gameplay. So, Adam, if you're playing it on PC and I'm playing it on Xbox, we can kill each other.
We can play together, but I did get Gears 4 on Xbox. We can play together.
Right, but we can play together even if you were playing on PC.
I know we can.
That's pretty
if
cool.
I decide to,
I'm just saying.
That is awesome. I mean, that's super dope. I hope all games start coming out as crossplay, because then I'll just probably buy them for Xbox and just have them on PC too.
I'm just hoping for the day we get cross-platform play.
It would be tight.
Oh my god! Item number 4. in sort of the same realm as to news that doesn't surprise anyone, Mantis will show up in Avengers Infinity War. For those who don't know, Mantis is the new member of the Guardians of the Galaxy and an actual, not founding, but second team member from the earlier Abnet runs, if you're all familiar with that. Item number 5, RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan is directing or has directed an episode of Iron Fist, which
That's
I'm
cool.
not sure how I feel about because the man with the Iron Fist really sucked.
You need to just take a step back. The man with the Iron Fist was fucking fresh. The man with the Iron Fist was fresh, dude. I like that shit.
No, it's cool, like in a kung fu film aspect, but I was by no means like, this is.
I mean, I hate to take a Reeg Report item out of context and have a discussion about it, but I want to understand, what did you expect from man with the Iron?
One of like the second to last item. I didn't expect much, I guess, but
because when you're like, it's good in a kung fu way, I guess it's like it's only a kung fu movie. It's not like a period piece drama
just
or anything.
Growing up with Wu-Tang and reading about RZA and his. How much he pours into his craft and what he does to make himself better, not only with music and producing, but with meditation, studying from various people, just enlightening himself. I don't know, maybe I got it in my head to expect a little bit more out of his directorial debut, which is my own fault, obviously, but...
Well, no, I mean, I can see
that.
That makes sense.
Talking about it out loud, I'm like, that's probably where it just stems from.
Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense. I was just confused because you're like it's
right.
good in a kung fu way. I'm like,
dope
bro,
it is
like it is a kung fu. That's all it can be is a kung fu movie.
What movie
I'm just gonna say it's good as a kung fu movie, but I'll tell you what it isn't good as: a time accurate period piece drama starring Leonardo DiCaprio. That's what it isn't good as. It's just like because that's not what it is.
You got me there.
Oh, but yeah. I digress.
Yeah. So last item on the list, number 6, and this one's just kind of just my own little thing because this one I do want to know what the fuck. And that is that The Expanse Season 2 airs Wednesday, Feb 1. And I went back because I didn't know about this show. So I watched last season, like I think over the summer. I think we'd probably spoken about it briefly on one of the old episodes.
Man. I have no idea what this is. I'm confused.
So okay, you need to go watch this then. It's a show on Sci-Fi. It has shit. I forget his name now. I'm brain farting. Highlander dude.
Christopher Lambert.
There you go. He's in it with a bunch of other people, and it's like Blade Runner meets Alien meets I don't even know what else, but it's fucking dope, man, and it's so good. And I'm just like, why is nobody talking about this show?
Oh no, it's not Christopher Lambert. It's Thomas Jane, the original
Thomas
Punisher.
Jane, yeah. Punisher.
I'm reading the premise. It seems neat.
Dude, it's really, really good.
I can watch this.
It's really good. It's been written about like the show that nobody's talking about for I don't know how long. And obviously somebody told me about it, so I went and watched it. Now I'm trying to do that thing that we keep telling you guys to do with the podcast. So like, you guys, you need to watch this show, I'm telling you.
And it's got Cuddy. It's got Cuddy from The Wire on The Expanse.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. It's Sci-Fi's best show, easily.
I mean, but to be fair to our audience, when you say it's Sci-Fi's best show, that's like saying it's
Recent.
it's Taco Bell's most gourmet item.
I mean, look at it. Once you see it, you'll get it. Like the production value of the show. This
is not a knock on The Expanse at all.
No,
it sounds dope. I'm just saying that like Sci-Fi themselves as a network have not proven themselves to be the purveyors of quality entertainment.
Right.
But I'm definitely going to check this out. This sounds neat as hell. So I'm going to check it out. I think you can watch the episodes on sci-fi.com too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go watch those and then binge,
no excuse.
Binge it out, and season 2 starts Feb 1. So That's everything.
That
on
means
the Reeg Report.
you've got 2 days to watch
a whole season,
10 episodes. So 5 episodes a day. You can
really
do it.
Not hard.
You can do it.
An hour.
So thank you, Reeg, for that. We appreciate the Reeg Report every week. It's the glorious tidbits that Reeg seeks out and uncovers. Like he's like the Dr. Alan Grant of internet tidbits. Which means one day Reeg is going to go to like an island, and the tidbits are going to be brought to life, and they're going to try and kill him.
That would suck, man.
It's it's a Jurassic Park kind of thing. But cool, you'll get to be there with a Jeff Goldblum type, and he'll be like, rah, so you find like tidbits, huh?
I wouldn't mind that. I don't mind that.
So it'll be worth it.
Right.
It'll be worth it, I guess. And after that very failed joke, it brings us to our last bit of the podcast. That being that as of tonight, which will be as of yesterday to everyone who listens to this, or when you listen to it at your leisure, as of the 1/30/2017, Ben Affleck is no longer directing the Batman solo movie.
No mas.
That's breaking news today, and there's a statement released which is very studio. Yeah, very studio speaky.
Oh, of course it is.
Filled with studio speak, and I will pull that up for you so that way we can read it in its entirety.
It's just so dumb with how up and down he's been.
Yeah,
it crushed him. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah, it's just it's out of control apparently.
He just couldn't handle
it. And so here is his exact statement from it. There are certain characters who hold a special place in the hearts of millions. Performing this role demands focus, passion, and the very best performance I can give. It has become clear that I cannot do both jobs to the level they require. Together with the studio, I have decided to find a partner and a director who will collaborate with me on this massive film. I am still in this, and we are making it. We are currently looking for a director. I remain extremely committed to this project and look forward to bringing this to life for fans around the world. End statement. So, Ben Affleck clearly needs to get somebody in the mix. The rumors floating around, because apparently there's already rumors about who they're floating for director. Front runner being Matt Reeves, which sounds pretty rad, actually.
Who's Matt Reeves?
Matt Reeves is the gentleman who directed all 3 of the Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh fuck yeah! That's
so. That's cool. That is a pretty sweet look. And then
those movies rock.
I can't remember the guy's name, and I will find it. I will find you.
I will find you.
I will find you. But it's the gentleman who's directing Captain Fantastic with Viggo Mortensen that's coming out, and the criticism to that is that all he's done is small indie films, and that basically small indie films, and he's directed a bunch of episodes of oh god, what TV series is it? I think it's American Horror Story. So you never know where he's gonna end up, like where that would line up with them. But like the criticism being that like he doesn't have enough big movie cred behind his name, which is like, I think, a crock of shit at this point. Because if the criticism is he just doesn't have enough big movie experience, then James Gunn didn't have enough big movie experience, and John Watts doesn't have enough big movie experience, and Scott Derrickson didn't have enough big movie experience, and and then if you really want to keep breaking it down,
get him.
Kenneth Branagh didn't have enough big movie experience. I guess the only ones you can really say is, fuck, Joss Whedon didn't have big movie experience. Like none of these guys have blockbuster experience. And like the thing is that, just like Marvel finding these directors that work with the characters, I think it's smart. So like I think Matt Ross would be smart to be in the running for that, because like he's an actor. He's acted on Silicon Valley. He was Dr. Charles Montgomery in the first season of American Horror Story. So he didn't direct any American Horror Story. He's the killer doctor in the first season of American Horror Story. And then he's directed Captain Fantastic, 28 Hotel Rooms, and 2 shorts, Human Resources and The Language of Love, which, he doesn't have a ton of experience, but at the same time, if he can connect with the character, rock and roll. Now, the question that comes to mind is his type of indie filmmaking the right look for Batman? Maybe not. Whereas on the other hand, Reeves most certainly can rock and roll. He's got what it takes.
If you've seen any of the new Planet of the Apes, you know that. Yeah.
His last 4 have been great. Cloverfield, Let Me In, which is the remake of Let the Right One In, which was still very, very good. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes are dope. Yeah. And on top of that, man, he wrote Under Siege 2.
Dude.
So,
Under Siege, first movie I ever saw titties in.
With Gina Lee Nolan.
Is that who that is? No, and
the girl from Baywatch.
The Steven Seagal movie, right?
Yeah, but she's the girl from Baywatch.
Is she
I believe
the one who pops up out of the cake?
Yep,
that was Gina Lee Nolan.
It might not have been Gina Lee Nolan, but it's a girl from Baywatch. We're finding out. We're finding out right now. Oh. It's gonna happen. I'm finding it out.
I'll never forget that fateful day.
Neither will many young lads.
Yeah. Wow, what a time to be alive when VHS. That's all we had was VHS tapes. You just had to go back and rewind it. Oh, that one glorious shot.
Yeah, when the internet, just wasn't around yet, and the only way to see boobs was via people popping out of cakes.
Yep. I think that's where I saw my first MP5 too, and I was like, "Yo, that gun looks cool.
I'm gonna totally use that gun." I'm totally
so
gonna
many
use
firsts with Under Siege.
This is the shout out to this is the Under Siege episode. Erica Elenick is who it is in the cake.
No idea who that is.
Erica Elenick is also from Baywatch.
Okay, all right then.
So, good to know for everyone
there you go.
that she popped out of a cake.
The more you know.
Yeah, it's just how it is. I can't even remember the first movie where I saw boobs was. I'd like to remember though.
It had to have been an old school horror flick, right?
I think it might actually be the nurse in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 who ends up tongue tying Joey to the bed. Where it's like, "Do you like my body, Joey?" And then she kisses him and like rips his tongue out and like tongue ties him to the bed. And then Freddy's like, "What's the matter, Joey? Tongue tied?"
That must have scarred you. It wasn't even a pleasurable experience.
I'll tell you what I did know.
Oh my God.
Is that if you got to see a girl's boobs, you most certainly were going to get tortured. That's all I did know. So, but like one of the speaking of like horror movies and like coming of age boy moments, Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh yeah,
I believe in 1995.
Yeah.
When the two are having sex,
yes,
and like she's on top of him. Yeah. Oh, of course, in the tent. Yeah, and then he goes. Yep. Just splits her in half. Like, oh my God, this changed immediately.
That changed me.
This changed from like titillating to oh my God in moments. What the fuck?
That
you're like
changed
10,
me forever.
10, 11 years old. You're like, huh? Oh, this is awesome.
Yep.
This part's oh my God.
Just went from a hard 12 to a flaccid 6. Just
noon to 6, just like that.
Wow.
Because before that, it was 6 to midnight, and then it was midnight to 6 immediately. Sweet Jesus. This actually is going to be a very fun thing to put forth to all of our listeners. In the comments, let us know if you have had the horror movie situation of, wow, cool boobs. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I'm
God.
super scared.
What is happening?
or if you had that exact moment that we had in Jason Goes to Hell, we'd like to hear about it. And, you know, that could be for
terrible.
any. And I know that the pool is much more limited for the ladies out there. So if it's like, oh, when I saw Kevin Bacon's dick in Wild Things, or like,
Oh, yeah.
the Dirk Diggler dick in Boogie Nights, those are really the only like dick
That's
moments
it,
that I
yeah.
personally know in film. But I bet there are.
Or Tales from the Crypt.
Which part in Tales from the Crypt with dick? I don't know anything about that.
Not with dick.
Oh, anything about that?
Towards the
Are you talking
beginning,
about-
the chick with the big ends in the tub.
No idea. Are we talking about the TV show or the movie?
No, the movie.
Demon Knight or Bordello of
Oh
Blood?
shit! Had to have been Bordello then, just given the name.
Because Bordello of Blood is the one with Dennis Miller. Demon Knight's the one with Jada Pinkett Smith and Billy Zane. And Demon Knight is a fucking dope ass movie.
No, it would have
And
been
that
the
movie
first
has,
one.
Demon Knight's the first one, and that's the one that has nudity in
Yeah.
it. But it's only when Dick Miller gets super drunk and the demon invades his mind, and then he walks into an empty room, and that room is just a bar filled with nothing but like porn stars, and
weird.
they're all like
Maybe not
topless, and
then.
they're like oh. But then Bordello of Blood is the one with like a whorehouse filled with vampires.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the second movie though.
Oh, okay.
And that movie also has Erica Elenick, who you saw boobs for the first time in Under Siege.
See, it's all full circle, baby.
It's like 6 degrees of separation, but instead of Kevin Bacon, it's Erica Elenick's breasts. This is taking a real turn.
Oh yes.
This episode is taking a real turn towards the end. And we got here from like Batman, no longer being directed by
By Benny. Benny.
Benny and the Boo. Benny
Yo,
and the
that
breasts.
sad flight gift just has so much use now, even more.
Yep.
I was just.
The sad Affleck.
Yep.
Benny
I was
and the
tweeting about it as
breasts.
soon as I found out. It was amazing. And then I get
got
on
to.
and I see everybody retweeting Mashable. And I'm like, Mashable, can you stay in your fucking lane, bro?
Hey, get out of here, Mashable.
Please?
Put together a list.
Right?
Get out of here, you know.
Jeez.
You-
Don't you
you-
guys
you are-
report
you-
tech news or something?
You are fake news. I know that's BuzzFeed, but Mashable can get some
My
too.
God. What happened?
I just want to start calling everything fake news and alternative facts.
There you go.
No matter what it is now, you're fake news, you're alternative facts. The end.
Drink alternative water. That's what I'm going to do at work tomorrow morning. I'm going to walk in with a glass of bourbon. They're going to say, "What the fuck are you?" I'm drinking
can't-
alternative water.
You can't.
Sorry.
You can't drink alcohol here. This is water. That's booze. Alternative facts. If it's good enough for the president, it's good enough for you.
Yep.
Oh, that sigh is very real.
So
That
real.
just happened.
Just
But-
all the air.
That will do it for us on this week of the Flarking Podcast.
The breast flarking podcast.
I felt like that joke needed to be said
did.
minutes ago.
I'm glad somebody
but
said it.
I had to bring it, even though I knew the time had passed.
You brought it.
I did. I went there. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really, really appreciate it. As you guys know, we have another show now called the Best Flarking Games Cast, which is led by Reeg, and I'm on there, and the very lovely Sarah Dope is on there. And you guys should totally listen to that. If you go onto SoundCloud, it has its own separate thing. Or if you're a YouTube listener, they are both housed in the same, under the network, on our YouTube. So do us a solid, go listen to that. If you really like both shows, tell people about it, because that's the biggest way that we gain traction with an audience is word of mouth, because, you know, until that Doritos deal really does kick in, we don't have the, Cool Ranch money that we need to spend on advertising.
Or
so
drive our
we thank you
Jeeps
guys
from Jeep.
Yeah, we haven't gotten our Jeeps from Jeep yet either, which is very frustrating because we plugged them so hard.
Phrasing.
But yeah, thank you guys.
Phrasing.
Woo. Thank you guys so much. Talk to us on Twitter at MotherFlarker. Follow us on Instagram, also at MotherFlarker. And we will see you guys next week, which is, Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Central Time when we release this thing.
That's when we do it.
So Tuesdays at 11 a.m. This is me working that in for the first time, and I promise it'll be smoother next time. All right. So we'll talk to you guys, or we'll talk at you guys next week. See ya.
Later.